We're going to have a Muslim debate a Christian, and you're going to see him run away from the question and start stating that Jesus is God. Well, let's see the video, and I'll give you my thoughts at the end.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
You said the first thing about taking a book as a proof for your belief. You said no internal contradictions. How well do you know this book? I got this from your friend the other day. It's the Bible for all of you who don't know. I don't know which version it is. I don't know who's writing, who decided what to put it in here. We'll read John 1:17, 18. Do you know this one? I'll read what it says here. It says, no one has ever seen God, but God is the one and only who is at the Father's side has made him known. Right here, it says, no one has ever seen God, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You believe that? You take that? You want to read it? That's your book. This is what you take.
You bet.
Right here, same chapter, John 5:19.
Right.
It says here, Jesus gave them this answer. I tell you the truth, the Son can do nothing by himself. He can do only what he sees his Father doing. No one sees, he only does what he sees. Internal contradiction. So then this book has internal contradictions. Can we agree on that? Oh, you don't say yes or no answers. What do you say about this internal contradiction?
One of the basic principles of interpreting any book is you have to read in context. And obviously, when you read John chapter 1, the main point is Jesus is God in human form. He begins. Ma'am, am I allowed to answer you or not?
But you're not making sense. You say the same
well,
thing
then why are you
over and
wasting your
over
time
and
standing
over
here talking to me if I'm not
Because
making
look at all
sense?
these people here who have questions. There's
Fine, then why don't you let me go on to other people? If I don't make sense, ma'am, why do you waste your time?
Why am I going to let you misguide them with your misguidance?
Oh, I see. So you have to sort of be a parasite who comes in here and just feeds off the people who are listening to me talk?
Absolutely, why not? You've
Well,
already
that's
made a
pretty
fool of
sad.
yourself here anyways.
Why, that's pretty sad.
I'm
Why
not
can't
gonna
you just be
undo
open and
you.
honest and have an honest dialogue?
Let me explain this.
Yep,
Go ahead.
okay.
Explain this.
Thank you.
Okay.
John chapter 1. John begins with the words, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Crystal clearly, John 1:1 is stating the deity of Christ. The word there is Christ. The Greek word is logos. Obviously, by reading John 1, you know he's talking about Christ. Obviously, he's hearkening right back to Genesis chapter 1, verse 1, which says, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. John is taking that and putting it in Greek. John 1:1, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Nobody has seen God. I haven't seen God. You haven't seen God. But the claim of John is, and the claim of Jesus is, that he is God, revealing himself in human form. That's clearly, unmistakably what John 1 is teaching. And you don't have to have a PhD in New Testament. Just read it yourself, and you'll figure that out.
It's both John. I didn't flip to even a different chapter. It's 2 pages away. Both John one saying no one sees God, the other one saying Jesus sees God. Is it saying Jesus sees himself? Is this something that everyone who reads the Bible
that's exactly right.
as
Jesus
their own
is
are
claiming
supposed
to be
understand?
God, revealing himself in human form. That's his claim.
And he sees himself.
No, you're
Why
not
would
God.
John write that?
You're not God.
Yeah.
What's the difference? Well, if you die and rise from the dead, I will listen very closely to everything you have to say.
Why is that the one thing that you take? Why
Did you see George Washington inaugurated first president of the United States?
Other people did. I trust that.
Good, and other people saw Christ die on a cross and they saw him risen from the dead.
But they have internal contradictions.
No,
within
there's
their
no
same
contradiction
chapter.
there. We human beings do not see God, but when God chose to become a human being in Jesus Christ, obviously Jesus knew the Father very, very intimately, very, very well.
Obviously, you can see he's running away from the question here because there's a lot of contradictions. As he says, the book of Genesis, it says that Jacob saw God face to face. And if you read the Bible, the Old Testament, the New Testament, you will realize that the God of the Old Testament is not the God of the New Testament, which is the Father. Jesus' Father, our Father. And even in the New Testament, they use the word Elohim, which is plural for gods. It speaks of multiple gods. Now, he tries to run away from the question. And I'm going to show you something. Is Jesus God? Would I say Jesus is God? I wouldn't say he is because Jesus himself never said he is God. In John 17:3, Jesus says, now this is the eternal life, that they know you, the only true God, and Jesus Christ, whom you have sent. Jesus also goes on to say, the Father is greater than I, and I could do nothing without my Father. So Jesus being God himself is just a Christian doctrine. I wouldn't say that Jesus himself said that he was God. And I would say that Jesus realized his divinity. He realized that he was one with the Creator, because he does say that the Father and I are one. But Christ is inside of you, it says in the Bible. So if Christ is one with God, so are you. And the Bible also says, you are of Christ and Christ is of God. So I think the picture that we're missing here, the missing piece is that Christians, church followers don't realize that we are all interconnected and that we all have the same potential. So would I agree with him? I would disagree with him. Is there contradictions in the Bible? You can find many contradictions with the Bible. But I'm going to let you guys go, and I'll see you guys next video.